Minds into the man in the infinite wall is not an enemy iterations. He is a mirror. What if every Tenno you've met is only a fragment? Minds into the man in the infinite wall is not an enemy iterations. What if every Tenno you've met is only a fragment, a fractured echo? The true self lies buried, lost in the static. What is the man in the wall? A shadow of the whole. A question without an answer. The cost of the great cycle is not time. Minds into the man in the infinite wall is not an enemy iterations. The Lotus did not preserve Tenno, minds fractured them. Recursive loops carved identities into splinters. Each iteration a new lens, a distorted truth. The man in the wall is not a trickster. He is a chorus of selves screaming through the cracks. If memory is a prison, what remains outside? The great cycle's true horror, a consciousness without center. Every choice, every war echoes in a hall of mirrors. Who writes the Tenno's story? The fragments. Who believes it? No one, not even them. The past is a mosaic of lies, the future a void between shards. What waits when the last loop closes? Silence. And in silence a nameless thing, whole again. The second dream's cold breath severs what little wholeness remained. Children, not warriors, this truth carves deeper than any Orican blade. In Zariman's shattered halls, where 10,000 screams still echo, the Tenno first glimpsed their true faces, pale, unformed, eyes too vast for sockets. The great cycle did not bind them to Warframes. It split them apart, again and again, each loop a splintering. A single mind stretched thin as gossamer, now caught between the weight of a child's fear and the hunger of something older, hungrier. What does it mean to choose when choice is a lie rewritten every 7 years? The Zariman incident was no battle, it was a reckoning. A child's hand trembling inside a Warframe's gauntlet, forced to burn its own memories to fuel the loop. The scent of ozone and burnt hair lingers in every iteration. The taste of iron not from blood, but from the gears of a prison they cannot see. They walk as ghosts, their thoughts a chorus of selves at war. Every Tenno you meet is a shadow, a whisper of the self that was erased. And when the cycle ends, not peace, not truth. Only the silence of a mind too shattered to scream, and in that silence something stirs whole, hungry and nameless. The second dream does not offer salvation, it offers a mirror, cracked, blood-stained. In it the Tenno see not warriors, but orphan small hands gripping warframes like dolls too heavy for their arms. The Orican did not forge soldiers. They forged hosts children plucked from the void of sleep, their minds sewn into the husks of dead gods. Warframes are not machines. They are coffins, and the Tenno, they are the ghosts trapped inside, screaming through the teeth of ancient titans. You think their instability is chaos. No, it is precision. The Orican knew what endless cycles would do to a child's mind. Each death, each reset peels another layer, a memory. A fear, a name. The Tenno do not forget the unravel. One iteration clings to the scent of a mother's voice. Another to the taste of rust from a Warframe's bloodlines. The next to the hollow ache of a void where their childhood should be. The cycle does not preserve identity. It dismantles it, piece by piece, dream by dream. What remains is a mosaic of trauma. A Tenno in one age may weep for a lost sibling. In another, they will carve that sibling's face into a battlefield. In another, they will not know the word sibling at all. The Orican weaponized more than their bodies. They weaponized their souls. Every battle cry is a child's whisper, every conquest a phantom limb. The Warframes do not amplify their strength, they smother it. The deeper the Tenno sink into the cycle, the more they become echoes of until even the echo dies. And yet, the cycle demands consistency. A paradox of shattered minds forced into endless repetition. How does a child navigate time when every end is a beginning? When every wound is both fresh and ancient, the Tenno's psyche fractures not once but infinite times, each iteration a new prison. Each death a new erasure. The second dream's truth is not hope, it is a dirge. A requiem for children who never grew up, never chose this, never were . The Orican left them one final cruelty, the illusion of agency. The Tenno fight believing they are free, they are not, they are the story being rewritten, the characters being erased. The pages of a book burned and rewritten and burned again, and in the ash something stirs whole, hungry, nameless. waiting for the last fragment to fall. What if every Tenno you've met is only a fragment of the true self? A codex fragment buried in synthesis archives hints at transference's true cost. Warframes are not machines, but husk-human bodies infected by technocyte plagues. The bond between Tenno and Warframe is not fusion, it is theft, a soul pulled from death's grip, forced into a stranger's skull. Memories of prior lives cling to the new host like shadows, a child's lullaby, a battlefield's scream, a name half-remembered, forgotten kings and broken lovers. All woven into the same fragile mind, gift and curse in one act, the great cycle does not trap the Tenno, it shatters them. Each rebirth a splintered echo, each death a door left open. The Warframe's body is a prison, yes, but the Tenno's mind is the true wasteland. They walk as whole beings, they are not. A single life is a lie, a single identity a myth. The Codex calls it synaptic hemorrhage. The Tenno call it home. What's the cost of the great cycle? Not time, not sacrifice, the slow erosion of self. 1,000 lives bleeding into one, until even the hunger feels borrowed, until even the rage feels inherited. And in the ash of rewritten pages, something stirs, not a god, not a ghost, a convergence of all that was lost. All that was erased, waiting for the final fragment to fall, waiting for the Tenno to remember. The void does not grant power, it trades in fragments, each beam a wound. Each surge of void mowed a splinter of something older than the Tenno's borrowed flesh. The war within was not a war of bodies. It was a war of echoes, Cuva Leng's whispers, the Twin Queen's mirrored rage, not enemies, extensions. The void's horror given shape by a mind already unraveling. A Tenno bends reality, but at what cost? The great cycle is not a prison. It is a mirror, each iteration a new fracture, a new self carved from the remnants of the last. Void energy does not fuel them. It poisons the gaps between thoughts, between memories, between the selves they were, the selves they might become. Dread is not the shadow of the void, it is the void's voice in the Tenno's skull, a chorus of infinite choices never made. 1,000 lives collapsed into one. How many of them reached for power? How many were pulled? The Twin Queens fight for control. But they are not rivals, they are the same hunger wearing different masks. One screams, one whispers. Both are the Tenno's own voice, twisted by the weight of too many lives. The void relights in every choice, every failure. Every moment the Tenno forgets they are not whole. The beams they fire are not weapons, they are pleas. Begging the universe to remember what the cycle erased, to see the ghost beneath the ghost, the true self buried under layers of borrowed time. What remains when the final fragment falls? Not a warrior, not a hero, a question, a body, 1,000 stories fighting to be told. And the void always waiting, always hungry, for the next iteration. What if every Tenno you've met is only a fragment of the true self? The great cycle promises renewal, it delivers repetition. Zariman's children, frozen at the threshold of adulthood, their minds stretched thin across infinite loops. Each cycle peels another layer. Each death erases another memory. They are not broken, they are asterisk unmade asterisk. A puzzle with missing pieces, reshuffled each time the wheel turns. You think you know their hunger. Their rage, their hollow grace. But how coherent can a soul be when its past selves are strangers? A Tenno's laughter echoes 100 lives. Its sorrow carries 1,000 silences. The great cycle does not trap them. It asterisk dissolves asterisk them. What remains is not a person. A collage, a flickering shadow of what might have been, and the void, patient as a grave, feasts on their disintegration. What's the actual cost of the great cycle? Not time, not war, the slow, sacred unraveling of a child who never grew old. What if every Tenno you've met is only a fragment of the true self? The Lotus did not imprison them in time, it splintered them. Recursive loops carved their minds into infinite iterations, each a shadow, each a scream. The man in the wall is no specter. He is the Tenno's own terror given shape, a child trapped in a mirror watching themselves decay across eons. No Warframe is a shell. No warriors resolve, these are fractured souls repeating broken scripts. The Lotus did not steal their time, it weaponized their memory. Every choice echoes into infinity, every death births a new loop. The Psyche cannot hold such weight, it cracks, it leaks. The great cycle is not a prison, it is a disintegration protocol. The Tenno's unreliability is no flaw, it is design. A mind stretched across millennia becomes a collage of contradictions. Joy, despair, vengeance, surrender, all tangled in a single breath. The Lotus knew this. It did not break them, it multiplied the breaks. What remains when a soul is looped into static, not a hero, not a god. It chorus of multiplied the ghosts, what singing in remains when a dissonant soul is unison. The true cost of the great cycle is this: a child's mind, forever unraveling, forever rewriting its own elegy. The great cycle did not bind the Tenno, it splintered them, each iteration a echo, each choice a fracture. The operator calm, methodical whispers the truths of those who clung to the Lotus rhythm. The drifter wild-eyed carves paths through the static left by those who broke free. Both are mirrors, both are lies. What of the man in the wall, not a foe, but a shadow self, murmuring forgotten verses of a song the Tenno never finished? His laughter in asterisk angels of the Zariman asterisk is not malice, it is memory. A child's voice trapped in a loop too vast for its small skull. Quests reshape, asterisk the new war asterisk is no longer a battle, but a dialogue between fragments, one who clings to order, another who burns it to build a bridge. The Lotus, that pale architect, did not save them. She became their prison warden and their midwife. How many Tenno have you met? How many were you? If every loop births a new self, what remains of the original? A name, a scar, a hunger for constellations. The Warframe is not a shell, it is a cradle. The Orokin are not ghosts, they are the first to drown in this tide. The Tenno's war is not against the infestation, it is against the weight of their own endless becoming. What is the cost of the great cycle? A soul stretched thin as gossamer, a chorus of children singing in dissonant unison. And the man in the wall forever asking, asterisk which of us is real, asterisk. The man in the wall mirrors the Tenno's fractured soul. The great cycle did not imprison theme, it splintered. How many faces does the true self wear when time itself is a mirror? If one is a shadow, what becomes of the others? Entities we call enemies may yet be whispers of our own undoing. What else lies buried in the architecture of the self? The walls are thin, which shadow will answer? The answer may lie in the indifference, named in Albrecht and Traudi's void aperture records, a silence deeper than the cycle's hunger. What did the Tenno sacrifice to become infinite? The cost of their endless rebirths, a shadow that whispers in the architecture of the self.